Hello again, tuners. You know him best as Peter Brady from the 1970s sitcom The Brady Bunch, but being Brady is just one of the many accomplishments that he has pulled off over the years. Please say hello to Christopher Knight. Hello, Christopher.
Hey, Christopher, thanks for joining us, buddy.
Oh, my pleasure.
Christopher, it's hard to believe, but you landed the role of Peter Brady when you were just 11 years old. What are some of your fondest memories?
Having fans or people recognize you is an altered space. Though it's empowering, it's also kind of scary, you know. And that was a big transition. You know, you have a show that all of a sudden is on. You've been working on it for, you know, a year or so prior to that. All your friends know you as Chris. And then this entire world opens up, in which, in my case, I was Peter. And then all of a sudden, there's people that know me as Peter, not as Chris, and don't really know me. One has to learn how to live with that.
Christopher, how did starring in the Brady Bunch impact your life?
Oh, tons. It's where I grew up. It's, you know, I frankly, I look back on it, I realize I learned a lot of the values that the show was teaching through the show. The cast was wonderful, like another set of brothers and sisters. So we're very close still to this day. Barry and I do a podcast, you know, recapping the show and watching it for the first time in 50 years because of the experiences we had together. There's no denying that it's been an exceptional experience.
What was your relationship like with your TV mom, Mrs. Brady, Florence Henderson? She seemed like a nice lady.
She was filled with such an inner spirit. She had a good sense of her inner child. I didn't recognize that that's what I was attached to at the time, because she was very playful. She was also, at the time that work had to get done, she's very much a professional. She taught us how to be professional. She also taught us, or left us with, a very strong sense of how to deal with one's fans and how to be respectful and kind.
Now, Christopher, did you have a favorite episode?
You know, this is the reason that Barry and I are doing the podcast, because as we answer that question, we always answer it the same. And I say we because whether I'm asked it, Barry's asked it, Maureen, we all answer the same one. Our favorite episode was why? Because we got to experience it. We were in Hawaii, which was, you know, a nice change of pace.
Christopher, there was one season where your dad, Mike Brady, and your brothers, Greg and Bobby, and yourself all got Perms. Do you think that Toonie and I should get Perms? Would that help the show?
Well, yes, of course, because, you know, life through Perms is you know, a curvy experience. Let me tell you, none of us had Perms. My hair just started going frizzy and then went curly. So it was straight to begin with, and then went through a curly phase. Barry's hair did the same thing. Bob Reed always had curly hair, but they had straightened it. And when he got off the plane in Hawaii, the humidity there prevented it from being straightened, or if it was straightened, it wouldn't last. So apparently this was the first time the people around Bob had seen him with the curly hair. And I remember all the mothers agreeing that Bob's hair looked lovely.
Now, the Brady Bunch still airs on TV today, and it seems to resonate with pretty much every generation. Why do you think that might be?
Bill, I'm so glad you asked that, because I've had a lifetime to answer this question, or to investigate why. And my belief is it's because it's about home. And home is the first community we all belong to. And when you have brothers and sisters, or even if you don't have brothers and sisters, when you're brought into this world, home is where you learn where you fit and how to fit.
Now, you've mentioned about the podcast that you do with your former co-star Barry Williams, but how did that come about? I mean, where'd you guys come up with the idea?
Someone said, you know, there's this new genre of podcasts that are doing quite well. It's called the episodic recap. And I thought, I mean, of the Brady Bunch, I go, that's kind of wild. We haven't watched those shows in 50 years, and therein lie some of what was very intriguing about this. And we had just done HGTV's Very Brady renovation, where it became very clear that we as Bradys were not in sync with our audience. Even our audience thought maybe we lived in this house, which we never did. It was just a picture on the show. Matter of fact, I didn't know where that house was until the mid-90s. So let's do a recap, learning about our audience's attraction to the show.
Christopher Knight, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Enjoy, get along, and life will be good.